And a new twist now in Mehul Choksi's alleged abduction case. India today has accessed chats of Choksi's alleged female friend Barabara Jabarica with an owner of the Airbnb house. Choksi's legal team, Michael Polak, claiming that Barabara lured Choksi to an Airbnb accommodation where she had ensured that there was a docking space for a small boat. In the chats, Barabara is indeed seen inquiring about a place for docking a small boat, and Choksi meanwhile maintaining it was a pre-planned attempt to abduct him. Meanwhile, one of the accused in abduction case, Gurjeet Bhandal, has spoken out, denying any role in the case. Indian origin Bhandal has said he left Antigua on the morning of 23rd May and reached Dominica on the same night, clearing customs on 24th May. Now, this is in sharp contrast to what Choksi had said in his complaint, because the businessman had claimed that he was abducted on evening of 23rd May and reached Dominica the next day at 10 a.m. India today has also now scooped details of Choksi's legal strategy. The PNB scam accused has now approached the Scotland Yard to investigate his alleged abduction. 4 UK residents, including Barabara Jabarica, have been accused by Choksi of torturing and kidnapping him. Ashish Ray from London with this special report.
On the 7th of June in London, human rights lawyer Michael Polak lodged a complaint with the British police. He accused 4 UK residents of abducting and torturing Indian-born Antiguan diamond merchant Mehul Choksi in the Caribbean. 31-year-old Hungarian Barabara Jabarica, who lives in London. 63-year-old Indian Gurmeet Singh, who lives in Birmingham. 50-year-old British Indian Gurjeet Singh Bhandal, who also lives in London. And 45-year-old diplomat of Indian origin from St. Kitts and Nevis, Gurdeep Path, who lives in London as well. The complaint says Choksi was lured to Jarabica's flat in Antigua, where he was kidnapped and taken on a boat to Dominica. The complaint alleges he was bound and gagged, his head covered with a bag, and also that he was beaten, given electric shocks and threatened with a knife. Supporting the complaint were documents of the 4 accused travelling together on the same flights from London to the Caribbean and between Antigua and Dominica. Under Britain's universal jurisdiction law, a person who has committed an offence like torture, even if abroad, can be arrested and prosecuted in the UK. On the 8th of June, Edwin Callister, Detective Sergeant at Scotland Yard's War Crimes Unit, acknowledged receipt of Michael Polak's complaint. She also confirmed an officer had been put on the case to examine the allegations. Mehul Choksi acquired citizenship of Antigua and Barbuda in 2017. In 2018, he was charged with defrauding the Punjab National Bank to the tune of 13,500 crore rupees. The Indian government has been attempting to extradite Mehul Choksi ever since. At India's request, Interpol issued a red corner notice for his arrest. But as an Antiguan national, he's protected from being deported unless overruled by a court. The final court of appeal for Antigua is the Privy Council in London. Britain's Queen Elizabeth is still the island's head of state. With Ashish Ray in London, Bureau Report, India Today.
But trouble is clearly mounting for Mehul Choksi, primarily because the Enforcement Directorate is likely to make his wife, Preethi Choksi, also be mentioned as an accused in the PNB scam with the next charge sheet. India today has already accessed crucial information suggesting that Preethi Choksi has been an active part of the scam of Punjab National Bank. ED investigation hinted that Choksi's wife is directly involved in laundering money that was primarily defrauded from the PNB. And also mentioning that she could be the ultimate beneficial owner of the 3 offshore shell companies, and one of the firm, Hillington, is the sole shareholder of Goldhawk Company that has 3 properties in UAE valued at 22 crore rupees. So because the wife now, Preethi Choksi, is likely to be mentioned by the Enforcement Directorate, we are going to take a look precisely of her involvement and how this web of the shell companies is operating. At the heart of this, of course, is the UAE-based Hillington Holding Limited. This is very important because this perhaps is the offshore company that could be seeing Preethi Choksi as an ultimate beneficiary owner, even if indirectly as of now. But but the sole shareholder of this, now the ED plans to put the name of Goldhawk DMCC, which will be the sole shareholder, Preethi Choksi becoming the ultimate beneficial owner. But coming from this, take a look at this. 3 UAE properties worth 22 crore rupees via Hillington Holding, and then chain comes as the separate 3 properties. And with this, the Asian Diamond and Jewelry also had about 1 crore of rupees that were transferred. Asian Diamonds and Jewelry Company is also now finding a mention. All of this, remember, is with Choksi for now as the actual owner of all these companies. So this is, of course, significant of how the Enforcement Directorate is exploring of how a UAE-based company eventually managed this financial chain, and was Preethi Choksi, the wife, involved in it as well. I'm heading into a very short